Let's compare the financial paths of two people. Sarah starts investing $300 a month at age 22. 10 years later, at age 32, she stops contributing entirely, having put in a total of $36,000. Mike waits until he's 32 to begin. He also invests $300 a month, but he maintains those contributions for 33 years straight, until age 65. His total investment reaches $118,800. This is how their accounts look at retirement. Mike contributed 3 times more capital than Sarah, but the outcome is inverted. Assuming a 10% annual return, Sarah's portfolio grows to $1,018,000. Mike finishes with $763,000. Sarah ends up with $255,000 more than Mike, despite walking away 3 decades earlier. This gap defies our intuitive assumptions about effort and reward. Linear logic suggests that more years of labor and more capital should produce the larger fortune, but the math here follows a different set of rules. If the sheer volume of money isn't the deciding factor, we have to look for the specific mathematical trajectory that allowed Sarah's small head start to outperform Mike's lifetime of work. Albert Einstein reportedly called the math behind this trajectory the 8th wonder of the world. Warren Buffett has identified it as the single most powerful force in his own wealth creation. That force is compound interest. To understand how it favored Sarah so heavily, we have to deconstruct how it actually generates growth. Consider simple interest. If you invest $1,000 at a 10% annual return, you earn a flat $100 every year. After 10 years, you have your original $1,000 plus $1,000 in interest. The growth is a perfectly straight, predictable line. Compound interest changes the baseline. In year 1, you earn the same $100, but in year 2, you earn 10% on $1,100, which is $110. Every year, you earn interest on the interest you previously made. The capital base expands, and returns expand with it. By year 10, the compound interest portfolio reaches $2,594. That's nearly $600 in extra growth from the exact same $1,000 investment. This mechanism transforms static savings into a self-expanding engine where the money begins to do the work that the investor used to do. Investors use a mental shortcut called the Rule of 72 to estimate how quickly this engine is moving. You divide 72 by your expected annual return. The result is the number of years it takes for your money to double. At a 10% return, your capital doubles roughly every 7 years. If you invest $10,000 today, it becomes $20,000 in 7 years. In 14 years, it's $40,000. In 21 years, $80,000. By year 35, that single $10,000 has doubled 5 times to reach $320,000. These final, massive jumps happen automatically. The most significant growth occurs at the end of the timeline, driven entirely by the number of times the money was allowed to double. This brings us back to Sarah and Mike. By starting at age 22, Sarah secured a 10-year head start. That decade gave her money the runway to complete several additional doubling cycles. The massive spikes in her portfolio during her 50s and 60s are the result of her early dollars reaching their most explosive stage of growth. Mike's timeline expired before he could reach those same late-stage doublings. Because he started late, his money had fewer years to replicate, and his larger contributions couldn't move fast enough to bridge the gap. Sarah's head start proved mathematically insurmountable. In this equation, the duration of the investment is the dominant variable. For most people, initiating the compounding clock as early as possible is the most important financial decision they will make. The math favors the person who starts today, regardless of how small their initial deposit is. Consistency is required to sustain this growth. Automating monthly contributions removes emotional decision-making from the process, ensuring you continue to buy regardless of whether the market is up or down. You must ensure dividends are set to automatically reinvest. Every reinvested cent becomes a new seed that begins its own compounding cycle alongside your principal. Early withdrawals reset the entire compounding clock. Selling during a market crash sacrifices the principal and deletes the future doubling cycles those dollars were destined to generate. These steps serve to protect the uninterrupted passage of time, which is the actual engine of wealth creation. Compound interest is a democratic force available to anyone, but it rewards only those with extreme patience. The difference between a comfortable retirement and $1 million fortune was a single 10-year window. Every year you wait to begin is a late-stage doubling cycle you are surrendering. The clock on your version of this story starts today.